Oh, well, hello and good morning. It's Cherie from Big Notes Get Votes. I hope you are having an amazing day. I am coming to you once again with my weekly live, usually a Q&A where I answer some of your questions. But today I'm kind of inviting questions as well because I thought to myself, I have not talked about vocal health in a while. So I wanted to talk about vocal health today, and I wanted to share a couple of things with you. Oh, I can see my lovely background. Let me see if I can hide that. What does that look like? Oh, that's lovely. Is that better? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, the reason things are looking a little bit different is because I want to share something with you today. Now, I know I've talked about 3 singing habits that you can focus on in the next 3 days, and I can link you to the playlist of those. But today I wanted to spotlight vocal health on a grand scheme and a little bit about my ethos. As a vocal coach and a professional singer, the 2 things that I have focused on that have really made a difference for me in my life. Hang on, let me figure out why this is doing that. I have no idea why this is doing this. There we go. What I have focused on is number 1, vocal health and having a healthy vocal instrument. And that includes my body as well, because that houses my instrument. And then second, I focus on the efficiency of sound production. So what are the easiest ways that I can make the sounds that I want to make to tell the stories I want to tell, whether as a actor, as a cover singer, or the story is the script, or if you're singing other people's songs in general, original or otherwise, being able to really authentically tell them in the way that you want is key. And then longevity and stamina, confidence being the end goal, that you can just kind of turn up and do what you want to do. But it all starts with vocal health. So I wanted to take you through one of the resources that you can get. I will pop a link. You can download this. But I wanted to take you through it kind of step by step and show you the insides of my vocal health tips for singers guide. Now, what this is basically a guide to, optimum health for your singing voice. That's, I think, the tagline. Why don't I just show you? So I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully this is going to work. I did test this out before. So fingers crossed it is working. Okay, so first, I make a little background. Second, I am going to try to share my screen. Hold the line, talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. I'm getting it ready. Making it big. Let's see. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. All right. It's going to work. Trust me. Look at this. Boom. Don't you love it when that happens? Now, let me just make it big screen, full screen, big screen, like an old person. Here it is. Now, hopefully you can still see and hear me, and you can see my my vocal health tips for singers guide in front of you there. And I'm just looking at making sure that I can see everything. Yes, I can. Amazing. So it is your guide to keeping your voice healthy and in optimum shape for singing. That was the Fandangle one that I was trying to, the Fandangle title that I was wanting to share with you. So when you open it up, it just kicks off straight away with what I just basically said, a little reminder of why looking after your voice is so important. Then it goes straight in the first page, no mucking around, to what to start or stop doing today, like right away. And this is something that I want you to consider. Like, there are things that you can start doing to look after your voice, but then also there are things that you can stop doing that will definitely improve your vocal health. The first thing for me, I think I usually say, like, sleep, hydration, and nutrition. Those are the top 3 things for me. For me personally, I aim for 7 hours a night. I aim for 2.4 liters of water a day. I steam, I salt gargle, I do a nasal irrigation as well because I suffer from hay fever. And that's kind of my hydration plan, what I call my hydration plan. There are some other steps as well. So here we go. To start, check out here this little formula. And this is based on you personally, what you need, the hydration that you need. Now, this is a high-end formula. This is for athletes, because let's be honest, I think singers are athletes. So you'll see that this is very much at the top end of the hydration plan. And you can also get hydration from the foods that you eat as well as other things that you drink. Now, this is where we're coming onto this step here. Sometimes you want to be avoiding anything that's going to dehydrate your body, and that is caffeine, alcohol, energy drinks, fizzy beverages. Like I said, they're all the fun stuff. You still got to live your life. And if I didn't drink coffee, I would not be a fun person to be around. So what it is, it's about modifying for yourself based on what you know you need. So in my hydration plan, I don't know if you can see with my little screw, but this is 473 mils. It's a Starbucks coffee cup. I have a Starbucks sippy cup as well too, both which are 473 mils. I drink about 2 of those cups of coffee a day. I drink 2 of the sippy cups of water a day, and then I try to get 2 of the coffee-sized licorice teas in a day. That's my hydration plan with all the other things, and that really works for me. So over time, you establish containers, like the size of the cup if you're consistent with it, or your water bottle, and that can help you track the exact amounts that you're going for. When I am on the road to preparing for a gig, and again, you got to live your life, but this is usually 72 hours before, 3 days before I start to get a little bit more strict with myself. I will still drink coffee, but I know that if I'm steaming and I'm keeping up with my hydration plan, that's going to work for me and keep me hydrated. I do avoid alcohol, ideally until after the performance, where I love a drink after the gig, but that's how I work, and it's worked well for me, and my vocal health is, from a hydration standpoint, pretty good. So that's what I'm talking about there. Now, let's move on to the next page. I've mentioned steaming, which is highlighted there, and I'll link you to a video showing you my steamer and how I steam so that you can see that a little bit more in depth. But you can do that in lots of different ways. Like you can just put some water into a cup, hot water, put your hand over and inhale. You can put it in your drink bottle and do what I call the Darth Vader, where your mouth is covering the top of the bottle. Can't speak today. And you breathe in the steam, especially if you have one of those double wall insulated bottles. And that will help you to do a quick steam without a fancy gadget. I've got a picture there of someone with a towel over their head over a bowl of water. You can do that. I just don't like doing it because I hold tension in my shoulders and in my neck. And so being in that position is not ideal for me. And I think we got to be mindful of our postural alignment. And so when you go and watch that video of my gadget, there are 2 videos actually. There's one of when I used to steam with my garment steamer. That was what I call Ghetto Fabulous. I have up-leveled, and now I use the My Pure Mist. So check out that video. The other thing that you want to look at, like I said, the top 3, sleep, hydration, and nutrition, is to check in with your diet. Now, everybody is different. So this is not me saying go on a diet. This is me saying check in with what you're eating and notice if it's impacting how your body feels. When I eat sugar or flour, my body doesn't respond well at all. Dairy, I'm fine with. And that can be sometimes the opposite for people. I haven't got any kind of known intolerances. Like I haven't been to see somebody, an allergy specialist, to find that out. I just know from tracking, and I will link you to my vocal journal that you can download, where you kind of just track for 7 days what you're drinking, what you're eating, how your sleep is, hormones, where you are in your cycle, and that can help to inform you of what works and what doesn't work. And that's what I've done for myself to find out these things. When it comes to the sort of grand view of nutrition, obviously we always want to eat a balanced diet. That's just to keep our brain and our body healthy. But specific to singing, we want to look at things like reflux, anything that's going to impact our vocal folds. If you eat overly spicy or acidic food, sometimes that can cause reflux. You might even know that you have some condition, a reflux condition, and you might be taking medication for it. You also might have very serious condition. Wow, it's serious from a vocal health perspective, called GERD, and you need to talk to your medical professional, your health professional, about that. to find medication that's going to help you with that if it's needed. Or if it's on the less severe scale, you can just modify your behavior by avoiding eating late at night or when you're about to lie down, which as a musician, we all know that that is sometimes challenging. So it's always good to have these kind of workarounds. I like to have these hacks that we can overlay to make real life a little bit more manageable. And it's something as simple as propping yourself up on a couple of extra pillows before you go to bed can help to mitigate that reflux, which is gastric acid that moves back up your esophagus and goes near to your vocal folds, which can be really challenging for the vocal folds. Obviously, acid and very sensitive membranes do not go well together. So that's something I want you to have a look at. Sleep, I mentioned, figure out what's right for you. I think no less than 6, because as a singer, rest, vocal rest, physical rest is like a game changer for minimizing fatigue, especially if you're busy. You've got to get that rest. And again, often counterintuitive, you're busy, so you sleep less, or you're busy and you're thinking and you can't sleep. And so then it can kind of cyclically feed into things, caffeine, all those things that we pile on to help us stay active or alert during the day can then make it a lot harder for us to go to sleep. So you sort of have to find your ecosystem that works, and hopefully it serves you and your voice. And remember, your body does house your instrument, so there are other things that you might have to factor in. Look at your voice as a spotlight, but then move back and see what else is working or not working for you. Something that helps with sleep and relaxation is the next phase here with moving your body, stretching and releasing tension. Like once you've gone sleep, hydration, nutrition, then we start moving into things that really make a difference. Releasing tension. Tension is like the enemy for the singer. You want to be really mindful of what muscles are working and what are causing like a negative follow-on effect because you're tense somewhere. You don't want that extraneous tension to create a workflow, if you will, for your voice that is not the most efficient that it can be. So stretching, walking, yoga, great for engaging your breathing muscles, great for relaxing your muscles. These are important things to factor in. And movement can be whatever makes you feel good. So if it's dancing or, stretching, yoga, like I've said, walking, running, whatever works. Just be mindful that it's a relaxation focus is what you're going for, and a mobility focus. Then we go into things that we want to avoid, a grand scheme, and definitely as a singer who used to smoke a packet a day, no judgment. However, do avoid smoking anything, and that is across the board. Pot or marijuana, that those particles tend to heat up a lot hotter. And you just got to be mindful. And again, this is from a vocal health perspective, without judgment. And also, if it's not legal wherever you are, I'm not condoning nothing. But as a vocal coach, I need to say, do not smoke if you can avoid it, if you want to improve your vocal health. Now, what you can do is you can overlay or make sure some of these other elements are really in check if you are a smoker, and try your very hardest to minimize. Because I would rather you feel relaxed and have a cigarette and balance things out than be really super tense. However, I just want to say again that this is not ideal. This is something that you want to review to remove, especially vaping. Like vaping is probably one of the worst things you can do for yourself as a singer, because not only are you putting chemicals into your body, the studies that I've read, in particular, the impact on your lungs is so great, especially like glycerin buildup. And so, yeah, please consider removing that if you are serious about being a singer. And smoking does not do anything good for your voice. Like, it doesn't make a husky voice. Well, it might make a husky voice, but not in the good way. You can use singing techniques to add character to your voice or enhance the natural character that you already have. Use the techniques that work to be able to develop and extend your voice and access different voice qualities versus singing. And I say that because like people have said, I don't want to lose this particular husky quality that I get when I smoke. I can show you a way to do that without having to smoke, and it'll be better for you. All right. So next up, on the vocal health element, we go a little deeper. We talk about waking up and warming up your voices. And so for me, it's sirens. And if you get this guide, you will see that some of these spotlighted links here are actually, bolded text are actually links to extra resources that you can look at. So once you download that, you'll get access to all of that. Looking after your voice, your speaking voice, avoiding misusing or abusing it. And this is like total ends of the scales, the extremes of whispering all the way through to shouting. So when you're at the club and you're talking really loudly over music, you wake up the next day, gig or no gig, and you think, oof, feel a bit tired vocally. I would bet money on the fact that it's down to the speaking and not the singing that you potentially did, because you've done hopefully a lot of preparation for the singing. You're kind of mindful about your singing technique. You get off stage pre or post gig and you're like, hey, let's go. And you're not thinking about your speaking voice, same instrument, and you kind of fatigue it in that respect. Same with talking a lot in any environment. So like if you're on a Zoom call and you're talking for ages, you're going to be working your muscles. So you need to, what's next? Take some vocal rest. So any high voice use should be preceded with a warm-up, both of your voice and your body, or a vocal stretch, or a physical stretch. And then it should be concluded with some kind of vocal rest or a warm down. So that's what I'm talking about here. And then I've put here, use excellent technique when singing. So once all of the vocal health elements are in check, start to figure out some great techniques that work for your voice. Look for a vocal coach. Great. I think the best thing you can do when you're working with a vocal coach or looking for a vocal coach is look for someone that you like what they do, their whole ethos, not just on stage, but off stage as well, how they look after themselves, their voices, how they perform stylistically. My coach, my vocal trainer, the reason I picked her was because she was exactly doing what I wanted to do, both from a vocal coaching perspective, but also as a singer, badass contemporary singer across quite a few of the contemporary genres. Loved what she did, loved who she is, love who she is. And that was something that really drew me to her. Even though there were multiple different teachers that followed this particular discipline, their still voice training method, I really resonated with her, and we have built a great relationship because of that. So the techniques are kind of universal, depending on, what training method you're looking at. And it's about finding the right person to help you with that. And so what I've said here, a little disclaimer at the end, I have been a professional singer for a long time, and I've done a lot of research and then had a lot of experience and combined the two together to give you this guide, which I really hope helps you. But most importantly, I'm not a doctor. And so your medical professional is going to trump anything that I have said here, because they know you and it's specific to you, and they might have a bigger picture, a bigger ecosystem care plan in mind for you. And I want you to follow that. But I would love you to experiment safely. All of these things are safe if you follow them exactly as I've outlined. And then just always check in with your doctor if you're unsure about anything. Let me exit here from this screen so that I can see you again, and we can wrap things up. Here we go. What did you think of that? Please feel free to download that Vocal Health Tips for Singers guide. Like I said, I'll pop the link below, but also tell me, what are your singing related questions? Sorry, vocal health or singing related questions because I would love to answer them either in this sort of weekly live, or I can make a specific video for you. I have lots of questions lined up that I can speak on, but I'm always happy to have some more. If you are watching this over on the YouTube channel, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notifications button, because then you can see when I do come live with bonus videos. And also make sure that you do leave me a comment, a thumbs up if you like the video, and a question if you need some help with anything. Have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this vocal health review. Make that your focus in the next 30 days. And I can't wait to hear how it goes. Let me know.